Hello everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. Today I'm playing in my large Dilutions journal, and I think I have just gone straight into the journal without putting any gesso on the pages. It's looking like that to me. I've started off with fuchsia, and then this is eggplant, and these are all from Dean and Wakely Media, and then blackberry. Some of my favourite colours, the pinks and the purples. So I'm just adding these. You can see I'm going in and using 3 areas of colour at the moment and just kind of smooshing it onto the page. And then this is turquoise, and I'm just adding this on too. So you notice down there, because that purple wasn't dry, it's kind of blended into become like a purpley blue colour. I'm absolutely fine with that. It really doesn't matter. If you didn't want that to happen, then before you go in with your next colour, you just need to make sure that you dry the layer that you've just added, but I really wasn't bothered about that. So just to balance the page, I'm just adding some more areas of blue. You can see that just makes the page feel a bit more right. So then I've used this really large stencil. I think it might be a Crafter's Workshop stencil, I'm really not sure, but any large stencil would work really well for this. So you want a stencil with a pattern that's going to cover the whole page, and I'm just going through and using some black paint through that. So you notice there's an area that I've not stenciled, tiny area. An image is going to be stuck onto there. And then I'm using a white gel pen, and I'm just outlining some of these shapes. Now this is a technique that I saw Niamh Baby do. She's one of my favourite artists, and I just wanted to give this a try. So this is definitely inspired by her, but it's a really great way to do a background and just have lots of fun, really. It's quite relaxing drawing around all the patterns on there using the white pen, and it does create a fun background for images to go on top of. So don't worry, you don't have to sit through me outlining all of this background. I'm thinking that I have edited out most of it. So then I've got this image, which is from it's called from the Bonkers set by Tammy Klingner, and it's from Michelle Grant Designs. You can download them online and then print them out. Since doing this, obviously I sealed this because I have an inkjet printer. I sealed it with clear gesso, but since doing this I have found that you can use a spray fixative to fix designs, and then you can still go in and use different mediums over the top. So this isn't watercolour paper, this is printer paper, and I am using watercolours, but obviously they won't behave in the way that watercolours would do, where they would bleed and mix. So I am just literally using it to fill in and add some colour. And you can see the places where the clear gesso has taken on the design here, where I put the clear gesso on a gel plate and then put my image on the top of it, just to get that gel medium onto there without it smearing the design, because the inkjet printer isn't permanent. But this clear gesso has worked really well, and it's meaning that I can get some colour down. So I'm just going for quite bright colours, trying to use ones that contrast with the background so that it doesn't kind of blend in with the background, because I wanted it to pop out from that purpley, pinky, bluey background. So one thing that I was careful not to do, and that was to mess about too much with the paint. I just kind of popped it on where I wanted it to be and then left it alone, because obviously printer paper isn't really the right paper for watercolours, like I said, so you have to be really careful not to overwork it, otherwise it will just break down and go into a bit of a mushy mess. So I'm using a water brush to get this paint down, and this is quite good because obviously the water is there and it helps to move the paint around a bit more quickly, meaning that I'm not having to faff about quite so much while I'm putting the paint down. So then I'm just going in and adding some more colours on the faces. I'm not worrying about keeping it realistic, I'm just wanting it to have a slightly crazy vibe. So if you haven't been and checked out Michelle Grant Designs website, I will put a link in the box underneath the video if you want to go and have a look at all the things on there. There's some fabulous stuff on there. And I'll also put a link in the box for the video that Niamh Baby did, which was where the inspiration for this came from. So you'll be able to check those out if you want to. So I'm just finishing up and adding some colour onto the face, because I didn't want there to be any white left at all, apart from the centre of the eyes. Okay, and then once that was dry, I'm then going to go in and use my gel pen. So this is a white one, as you can see, and just pick out some of the details on there and add some more too. Then I'm using a Signo, no I'm not, sorry, a Stabilo All pencil, just to add a little bit of a shadow around that left hand side of the image, just to kind of help it to stand out a bit more from the background, because that background really is quite busy. And then using a very thick white Posca pen, I am adding in some words. So I did have to layer this pen quite a few times, because you can see it wasn't very pigmented, so I dried it, went over it again, dried it and went over it again. And then I am just adding like a bit of an outline around those letters, just to help those pop out from the background a little bit more. So this is such a fun way to create a page. It's colourful and bold. And then I am using a pink Posca pen and adding a drop shadow onto these words, which again just helps them to pop out from the background. And don't overthink where you put them, because if you overthink it, it'll all go wrong, as you saw there. And then I'm just priming my pen on the side there and trying to do some splatters, but it wasn't playing ball. So I'm going to use a fan brush and a white watered down paint and just do some splatters on there at the end. And there we go, that's the finished page. So quite busy, but lots of fun. So go and check out Niamh's video too. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.